It's week one of the high school football season. The Decorah Vikings will open up the 2021 campaign over at Crestwood on Friday night. Chatting here with Decorah coach Pat Trewin, and I know you've been at practice formally now for 3 weeks. I had a week of preseason camp prior to that. What's made you most happy about the guys to this point?
Well, we have some leaders that are in the senior group that really want to be successful, and they've helped bring the team along. They've pushed people to do some things, and we've had to work pretty hard. It's it's a smaller group, so there's a lot to do when you don't have as many people around. You're getting a lot of reps and you're not getting as much rest. So the group has grown. We also got a couple new people out, a couple people that have moved in, a couple people that hadn't been out for a year or two, and so that's added to the group mix too. So those are some really good things for us.
You mentioned you have a smaller roster than you've had in years past. Can you turn that into a positive, knowing the fact that you do get more reps, and the more reps you get, the better you should get?
Yeah, that's what so sorry. Automatic lights. So maybe
you've never looked better, Coach.
Get rid of that. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably the best way to view me. So I could put something on my screen. That's what we have to do. We have to get more guys involved, more guys pushing each other, and there's a real positive in, you're going to get some chances, you're going to get seen, you're going to get looked at, and you get chances to prove yourself, whether it's in practice or in then the scrimmage, and then in some game time, you're going to get more looks. And so we hope that we can push each other enough to really grow as a group.
You did have a scrimmage last Friday night. New Hampton came up to your place and got to see somebody besides yourself. What'd you take away from that scrimmage?
Well, we have some players that can really make some plays. I mean, we put some plays together, a few big plays, and we also know that, okay, we've got to show up excited. And I think we were excited to play, but each group has its own personality. We're a little quieter than last year's group, and that can be good. But we got to get out there and rip into people right away. So we liked a lot of the things that we saw on film. Everybody out there was, there were lots of good efforts going on. We know that we can keep growing from there, but we like banging on other people instead of just on ourselves. And it's early, we were 1 week into contact when you play a scrimmage, which so it's hard to get a perfect feel for what are you going to be like. So you got to make some real progress during this week, and I think we will.
And I know ever since the state allowed you to start scrimmaging other teams as compared to just holding the inter squad scrimmage a week prior to the season, it's something that you have done consistently with New Hampton. Obviously, you like what you're getting out of it. What's the advantage to seeing somebody else as compared to yourself in a scrimmage setting?
Well, the first thing is that, it's that measuring stick that's more real than, it's like when you're going against yourself, it's like, how good can we do things? And then when you go against another opponent that's been practicing hard too, and really getting up for the game, you get that measuring stick. And then the other thing is just, you kind of go that ones on ones and twos on twos mentality where, you've got guys in practice that are less experienced. Maybe they're just learning what's going on. Where you play against an opponent, they've got some veteran people too that you're putting out there. So we've really liked it over the years, and we structure it so that both teams get to see some things. They get to feel out their players and feel out all groups, and everybody gets reps. So this year we put a freshman group together too to play against their freshmen. So we got to see everybody on film, and so there that was really nice. So I like the ones versus ones mentality, but then also to structure every single person in the program getting competitive reps.
What would you say your main strength is at this point?
I'm hoping that you can say it's our defense, where we've got a lot of guys returning, and we move around pretty well. Our guys know the scheme. They've been running the scheme for a few years now, and we hope that we're sound on defense. Certainly, we have a few positions on the defensive front was mostly seniors playing last year, but we've got a new group of guys coming in and getting after it up front. And then, we hope we have some returning skill game on offense and special teams. We returned some guys who had some yards in the receiving world and in the rushing world. Probably about 5 guys that played a ton on offense. So our experienced people, hopefully they keep looking, acting, and playing experienced. And we've got, a few more guys that played some that are going to get to step up and play a lot right now. So probably our defense, and hopefully those skill guys knowing that they can make some big plays because they did it last year. And then hopefully we can get some explosive plays going because we've done it before.
I know at this point in the season, everybody needs to grow and get better, but what part of your team needs to grow the most here in the early going?
Well, it's certainly in the depth area of, some new guys, whether it's juniors or new people coming in. It's getting that depth in the lines so that they can play like a varsity starter, or an all district guy. So you've got to get as many guys on your team as they can ready to play varsity snaps at a very high level. So we've got to work on our depth, and we have been. We've got a couple of offensive lines that really have been working together, working hard, and the younger guys or newer guys that are getting in there, they're working really hard to get going. So it's certainly that's the area that we've got to gel in, probably gelling in both sides of the line.
What do you expect out of the cadets Friday night?
We expect a rivalry game. We expect a lot of guys on the field there. We've exchanged rosters and sent those out. They're going to play a lot of people. They're going to play a lot of juniors and seniors. They're going to have a lot of enthusiasm. I think they're going to do some similar things as in the past. They want to run some spread, but also power football with spread. So they're trying to combine everything that Cresco's always done in the past. And then, they're just going to get after you with some great enthusiasm. I think they feel like they have nothing to lose, and a new coach, you get some new enthusiasm in the program. So we're going to see a team that flies around a lot, probably pretty attacking. They've got a big offensive line, but then they put in a lot of quick guys on the defensive line. So it'll be a hard fought game.
And you mentioned Justin Denner taking over as head coach, and he's been in the program as an assistant for the last few years, but he is the head coach now. Does that make prepping for a team with a new head coach in week number 1 a little bit more difficult?
Yeah, you never know if they're going to try a lot of new things or some new things. I'm sure they watched our scrimmage and we watched their scrimmage, so we could at least see a few of the basics of what they want to do, and they saw some of the basics of what we want to do. Those first games are a bit of a mystery as to what kinds of things people have in there. We kind of did a lot of general preparation in the first couple of weeks where we used schemes and cards from a lot of teams so that we could try to ready ourselves that way. But when it comes to defense, that you got to really prepare for any kind of a scheme. And so that's what we've been doing, is getting ready for most any scheme. Saw a few things at the scrimmage that we'll really work on. And then in our preparations on offense, that's the hard thing. Are they going to run a similar front, or are they going to run a wildly different front? And, so far the same, but I imagine they're going to be pretty aggressive.
All right, coach, keep your kids healthy. We wish you best of luck here in week number 1.
All right. Thank you, Darren.
That's Pat Trewin, head coach of the Decorah Vikings, getting ready for the Crestwood Cadets this Friday night.